Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of IPL Titbits with Gully Cricket. So, Shash, look who we have here. Our RCB superfan is back, and
Yeah,
you know why he's back? Because we are third time lucky. RCB have finally won their eliminator in the third consecutive attempt. But Gautam, first question to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, when the scorecard read 4 for 1 at the end of first over, did you ever feel like they'll reach the 200 run mark?
No. That was like a. Uh, actually, I never expected that they'll reach the 200 run mark itself. But to talk about how the Patidar played, and then even DK, he also played like extremely good. But Patidar was a very unknown quantity, meaning the players mainly. I think the Rajasthan prepared for Duplessis, Maxwell, and Virat. Turns out Patidar came and performed really well. Uh, in the post-match interview,
Yeah, we can hear you.
hello.
hello, is it audible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So in the post-match interview, also he told that when he didn't get picked for the auction, Patidar went to his hometown to play cricket, and later he got a call back from Mike Hess to play for RCB, and then onwards he's produced consistent innings. Even though in last few innings he couldn't make it big, but he was timing the ball really sweetly. But
now I think there's a disturbance.
Yeah, I think there's some issue with the connection, I feel.
All right. So, we'll
Okay.
move on to the next question, Shaz. So, like you was mentioning, it was a beautiful inning by Patidar, and that's what powered RCB to 200 plus score. But moving on to the second inning, now KL Rahul last year mentioned that strike rates are overrated. In fact, in the 20
Mm.
run chases that he was a part of since 2020, he had a run rate above the net run rate only in three innings out of them. So, was this the knock that cost LSG a spot in the qualifier?
I think you can say that, especially with the memes that are going around in the net, where Kambir is giving a death stare to KL Rahul as well. Yeah, I mean, I've always had this question about KL, the tempo at which he goes about his innings. Uh, does he leave it a little too late? I think you can also have the what shall I say? You can also back it up with facts. Now, how many times has he taken his team to the final? Zero. Like
Mhm.
beat Punjab or any other franchise that he's played for. He might have got a lot of runs, but at what cost? He's not been able to take his team to the finals. So there must be something that is actually not working for him, and we all have seen that as well. I mean, uh, you've played like 58 balls and when you're chasing a total of 200, you cannot have a strike rate of just 130 and expect to win the game. There is so much pressure that is being put on the other batsmen at the other end. So I think Rahul definitely has to look at this aspect, irrespective of how many runs he's scoring. See, it's not about you amassing like 500, 600 runs in a season, but what cost? Like, is your team winning? You know, are you able to make that significant contribution where the team goes all the way? Now, that is the question that I would like to put as to how valuable his contributions have actually been. If you look at it in the bigger aspect.
Yeah, and actually also puts pressure on the other batsmen because they can't come and score
Correct.
immediately. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think around 40 of their balls out of 120 were dot balls, and obviously that's going to
Hmm.
put pressure on the batsman. So,
Yeah.
as we wait for Gautam to come back, I'll just put the next question to you. So, Shash,
Mhm.
you have been a fast bowler. I think you have been a
Hmm.
spinner, but when
No. I'm fast.
all
Yeah.
right. So when all other bowlers have given around 35 runs, Harshal Patel bowled at an economy of just 6.2. So as a bowler,
Hmm.
tell me, why do you think it's so difficult to pick his slower balls?
Uh, I think one, obviously there's not too much change in the action. That is another thing, and he's very clever as well. He mixes it up with bouncers, with slower short deliveries outside off stump, on the wicket. So you don't know the line he's going to bowl the slow balls with as well. So it is not that easy for a batsman to be prepared. Like, okay, this is now when it becomes easy for a batsman, and you sort of gauge, okay, that this is what he's going to bowl, and I can set myself up. But that's not the case with Harshal. He's got a bag of tricks with him. So that is what makes it quite difficult for a batsman to actually go after him. And he's just been phenomenal, like for the last few seasons, in fact. Uh, I mean, in a score of 200, if you have a economy rate of 6, it just speaks volumes of what this guy is delivering for the team. Similar to what Mohsin Khan managed to do for LSG as well. He had a what do you call economy rate of under 6. So I think that just he was a game changer in the end. You can definitely, because it was a very nervous moment. The first two balls went for 6 runs, or
Mm.
in fact, zero balls went for 6 runs. It was basically like conceding a six, wide and wide. So he's very smart as well. People don't probably underestimate in that regard. He realized that that line is not working or is not comfortable, and he came back to over the wicket. And after that, he got three dot balls, which include the wicket of Stoinis. So that just shows the caliber of this guy. And and I still cannot understand how he did not make it to the T20 World Cup squad last year. I definitely hope that the selectors will not make the same mistake again.
All right. Yeah. So that was a good bowling spell by Harshal Patel. And I think everybody on the field gave their 100%. Even Hasaranga, when you see that he's
Oh
been
yeah,
fielding poorly in last few games, he was giving his 100% and also saved that six and almost got the
brilliant.
wicket.
Yeah, I think I would say we'll forgive Hasaranga for all the missed opportunities that he's done with the field, because on that particular day, I think his fielding was extremely crucial when you consider the margin of runs that we actually won with in the end. That effort of Huda was just like outstanding, like he had the rope there. It was a catch. Unfortunately, since he was so close to the rope, he was seeing if there was anyone close to him so that he can put the ball,
Mm.
like pass the ball to them. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But how crucial was that not going for a six? Every run mattered in that particular game, and these sort of things, those saves and the intensity in the field for RCB, was like uh, great. I mean, I hope they carry on with the same intensity today and keep that for two more games, hopefully.
All right. So now Gautam is back. So Gautam, this question was waiting for you. Over the
Yeah.
years, RCB has got many different death bowlers after Stack. There was Jordan, Morris, Dale Steyn, Jamieson, many, many others. So what do you think? Is Hazelwood the best one yet?
Yes, so Hazelwood, he has been a very good bowler for a long time, but over the past few years, he has developed his skills in terms of in the initial overs. He does get the swing up in front, and then at the back end of the innings, he puts the cutter balls as well as the hard length balls he pitches. So that makes it very difficult for the batsman, and generally it goes for the top edge. Probably if he can develop the Yorker, I think in the past match, I think we saw a couple of Yorkers which he went and delivered, but he doesn't hit Yorkers on consistently. But still, he's a very good bowler. But RCB is lucky to have him and Harshal Patel to close out the final overs. So hopefully they can step up, whichever like how they have been doing throughout the tournament, and deliver the same against Rajasthan this evening.
All right.
Yeah, I
So
think the Triple H is coming to the core, like Hasranga, Harshal, and Hazelwood. So
Hazelwood,
these guys,
yes,
yeah, so these guys are I would say the cogwheel of RCB's bowling attack. One
yeah.
one a crafty death bowler, other one hit the deck seam bowler, and then you have one very what shall I say, a smart leg spinner as well in Hasaranga, who doesn't turn the ball much. I would say it's predominantly bowls googlies, but
Mm,
still he's effective and he's taking wickets. So that's all that matters.
yes,
yeah.
Triple H have delivered, but we have to wait for KGF to deliver now. So hopefully they do it in the next two games.
Yeah,
So yeah, so they have been failing yet and again, and it was Patidar who actually took RCB to a good total last match and won the game. So Patidar is the man of the match, and we have got a lot of predictions for that, including one from Gautam. So, so I have the names here. Shash, your
great.
message actually worked,
Oh,
and a lot of people commented after the match. So I
uh,
just
Which
read it.
one?
You had given a message, right? That please participate and all that.
Oh yeah.
So a
I
lot of
hope, yeah, more people see.
uh,
Okay. Is it Craig Matthews the winner?
yes,
He's winning it for the second time, I think.
second time, yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, Craig. Hard luck, Gautam. You're right there. But yeah, the
But
same,
you have two more chances,
the
Gautam.
wheel, yeah, the
Yeah,
wheel didn't
yeah.
choose you, unfortunately. The wheel has a tendency to look for people who've already won.
Hmm.
So I
Oh,
don't know. That's something about the wheel, is
All
what I
right.
would say.
But Craig,
yeah.
congratulations. And I think your previous voucher is also pending. So we'll drop our mail ID
Yeah,
below. Just
early
send a
wheel,
mail.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's about the last game. Now let's move on to today's Royal Rumble. It's again at the new venue, and it's another must-win for both the teams. So Gautam, you know that the norm when an ex-RCBN is playing against RCBN. So are you worried that Devdutt Padikkal, Hitmay, Chahal, all of them will be playing against RCB tonight?
Yeah, so I said actually I was seeing a video wherein it was Parthiv Patel and Jatin Sapru. So there was a question to him like, uh, when an ex team like plays against you or you are playing against them, what is the tendency of you to perform? Like, is there some drive that says that you need to perform well? But Parthiv casually told no. But later in the same interview, he's like that. The trend, what has been in this IPL is they perform well against the previous franchises. For example, Miller and many others like that. So indeed, they have a lot of ex-players, Chahal, Padikkal, Hetmeyer, and Chahal is in great form. Hetmeyer, for the initial part of the season, later part of the season, he didn't fire. Padikkal has been on and off. So we will need to wait and see, but hopefully we can restrict them.
All right. So jumping into the matchups, Hasaranga has dismissed Samson 5 times and has given only 18
Correct.
runs. So with
Yeah,
Samsung, carrying the middle overs for RR and taking on the momentum, could this be the key battle tonight?
yeah, definitely. I mean, the way you saw Samson playing in the last game, I think he was making a statement to whomever that is directed to. But yeah, I just hope that he just continues that inconsistent form of his for today, so that we don't have too many runs from him. Yeah, I I did go through that stat which you mentioned where Hasaranga has picked up Samson a few times, and I hope that he can add to his tally tonight as well and get a few more wickets along with that. So that because I feel like Rajasthan sometimes have depended on just a few players, like maybe Butler. Jaiswal has been good, but not very consistent. As Gautam mentioned, Devdutt has been on and off. And Sanju's case has been such that, it's his never consistency has been a big issue with him. So just hope all these things like sort of stay for another game. Yeah, and yeah, Rian Parag was the guy who sort of played that lone game in this entire season. I don't know how he's managed to keep his position so far after so many like just a one innings. But yeah, I feel like RCB have the edge in this game.
Yeah, so that was one matchup, and I'm sure our statman Gautam would have many more matchups. So Gautam, please go ahead.
Yeah, so one interesting matchup would be like all of you would know that Chahal versus Maxwell. So Chahal
Hmm.
has a lot of wickets against Maxwell, but the most interesting thing is this matchup is come at the early part of Maxwell's career, meaning early part of both their careers.
Hmm.
But over the past couple of 3 years, since Maxwell started with a switch hit, right? So he has
Hmm.
hardly got out of Chahal once or twice. But
Okay.
this is one important matchup, and people read this matchup in a very wrong way. So that's the reason I wanted to tell that this matchup is mainly predominantly at the early part of Maxwell's career, not at the not it's not an overall stat. And also there's a one more matchup wherein for Butler versus Hazelwood. So Hazelwood has got Butler a couple of times, but it's not enough to say that he is Bunny or anything like that. But on an like on a general term, if you see like in an SNS interview while I was just watching, so regarding this matchups, there was a question to Parthiv. So what Parthiv mentioned is for him, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has got him out 9 times. It's always at the back of the batsman's mind, even though he might say casually after the post-match interview, I don't care who balls at me, I'm going to thrash him up. But still at the back of
Hmm.
his mind, it's going to be there that this bowler has troubled me. Same thing with Maxwell with Jadeja. Jadeja has removed Maxwell 9 times, but still Maxwell says in a post-match interview that no matter who comes, I'm going to hit him. But still, these matchups still play at the back of the batsman's mind. And also for RCB batsmen, be it I think Faf, Maxwell, and couple of others, Ashwin and Chahal, both of them have got a serious matchup. Even Trent Bolt versus Virat Kohli, Trent Bolt versus Faf du Plessis. So they all have good numbers, but come a pressure situation like today, wherein both of them need to step up and play. It all depends on how those individuals handle the pressure, and who handles the pressure best, will their team is going to win.
Very interesting matchups, and it shows how important it is that we don't just see the matchup in Chahal versus Maxi case. We should have something like a weighted average maybe. So, Shash, that brings me to the final question of the day. Who do you think you see is gonna play Gujarat this Sunday?
I would have to go with RCB, considering that the momentum they have the momentum. Like after winning like close games and different people putting up their hands in different position. As you mentioned, none of the big guns fired in the last game, but what a knock it was by Rajat. I mean, this can be a game-changing innings for him, or a life-changing innings is what I mean, because he was batting under immense pressure, and you saw that he didn't even seem like he broke a sweat. He just was like so cool. And the for me, I think that over of Bishnoi won us the game. If I have to be honest, because there was a catch that was dropped by Huda, and I think after that there was. I mean, Rajat did get a few chances, but you need that in a T20 game because you're going hell for leather most of the time. But yeah, that is what I would like to say. For me, like Rajasthan, they are a good team, no doubt. But the depth is something that I feel is lacking. After Ashwin, there is nothing much to say with the bat. Uh, and Ashwin has been doing like pushing above his weight, is what I would say this season. So, in that regard, I feel if we get like the openers out early, and if we see off Trent Bolt, I don't see why we can't win this game.
All right. So you pick RCB tonight, and I would have asked the same to Gautam, but I think he's having some internet
Yeah,
issues.
there's some connection issues. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll ask him personally later after the call. So with that, we come to an end of our preview. And to all our viewers, do not forget we have a man of the match contest, and we have only 2 episodes left. So you have only 2 chances of winning. So the rules are simple. All you have to do is predict the man of the match and comment it on our video below our video, and your time till the first ball of second innings is bowled. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with a win, and have fun. Cheers.